that you have joined us tonight. Listen, we are doing our things as teacher leaders. We're coming together as a village on Tuesdays and Thursdays to share, to encourage, and to just share, best practices. So again, thank you for joining the village. I'm your girl, Dr. Roz, CEO and founder of the Village Leadership Group, LLC.
And I'm a partner in crime. I'm Coach Williams. I'm the content supervisor for the Village LLC.
All right, I know that's right. Listen, we want to talk about the Village Academy. That's right. You heard our announcement about our exciting new course talking about teacher leadership. Just right. We are setting our teams on fire by bringing the fuel, the oxygen, and the heat.
Yes, bring that heat.
We want to make sure that you set your teams on fire so that you are building a professional learning community. And we are going to just talk about Module 3, Bringing the Heat, which is all about building and spreading teacher leadership. So important. Now, we talk about in the village that it takes a village to build strong leaders, teachers, schools, and communities, right? So today it's all about building and spreading teacher leadership. So we're talking about how to do that. And Coach Williams and I are going to share personal stories and our personal experiences of, as it relates to our leadership journey. Because we made some mistakes.
Just a little bit. Okay, maybe. Okay.
we made some mistakes.
We're going to tell them all of that.
Yes. Okay. We're going to give our personal stories because we don't want you guys to make some of the same mistakes we made on our journey, on your journey for leadership. All right. So again, join the discussion, leave your comments and all that stuff. But again, welcome to the village.
Welcome.
All right. So the first thing we want you to know as far as teacher leadership and how to build teacher leadership is that you have to be intentional, right? Right?
Yes.
So important that you are intentional about being a teacher leader. First of all, you got to change your mindset and know that you are a teacher leader, right?
True. And it just doesn't just happen. I think a lot of times we sit around and we kind of wait for that position to come. But like Dr. Ross said, you have to be intentional. Think about your goals. Think about your aspirations. Think about the things you're already doing. How can what you're already doing, how can you leverage that? So that is key. I think sometimes as teachers, we kind of stay in that box, but we're already leaders. How can we build on our leadership capacity and then spread that so it's contagious for the whole school?
Exactly, because teacher leadership spreads like wildfire. So we want you guys to be intentional. And one of the things that you can do as teachers is to be intentional. And first thing you need to do is know that you need help, right? So you need to find your village, identify who the people around you that can support you on your journey, right? So find your village. Now, again, that's something I didn't do. Did you do that?
You know what? I don't think I found my village. I think my village kind of found me.
You got to tell us about that. How did that happen?
So, you know how you find a village or your village finds you? But honestly, I can say throughout my career in education, I have been surrounded by phenomenal educators, phenomenal leaders who've poured into me and saw something in me when I did not see it myself. I think about how my educational journey started in North Carolina, and just the different people, different sorors who poured into me, different educational leaders or other teachers who would give to me, who would assist me. All of that kind of helped me build up to where I am now.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So that's good. So again, guys, find your village. Now, you said that it led you to who you are now. So that means right now you have the mindset of a teacher leader, but before you didn't.
I did not. And I think I just was a little scared. I was scared to take that leap. There are formal classes that you take to be an educator. You go to your educational classes, but a lot of times those classes as leaders, I saw my leaders as somebody on this pedestal that I could never get to.
Mm.
So it was difficult to even envision myself in that role. And it wasn't until people kind of pushed me out there that I started to see myself in a different light. So again, that village finding me. I remember my first time actually writing curriculum. I was terrified. And it came from someone seeing something in me. They were like, you should be on the curriculum writing team. I should be on the who writing team? That's for people who are smart. That's people,
Right.
And then when I got in a room, I could see like, I do belong here.
Good. That's good stuff. So again, changing your mindset and really realizing that you are a teacher leader. Again, because teacher leadership is a mindset,
not a position.
We say that so much within the village. So again, we are encouraging our teacher leaders again to build on your capacity as leaders. Find your village. And then the next thing is to make sure that you identify a mentor. Again, something I did not do. I was teaching, I was even being a leader, but I did not go to someone and say, hey, can you be my mentor?
So let me ask you this. How do you think that would have changed your journey?
Again, being intentional, because again, people did pour into me, but I wasn't intentional. And when you're not intentional, you're not being consistent.
Right.
So I wasn't following up with those mentors because I didn't officially say you are a mentor.
You with me.
Right. And so I wasn't getting feedback on a regular basis. I wasn't seeking their support or their help or their advice on a regular basis. So identify your mentor or your mentors, and make sure you have that partnership where they can give you feedback, give you advice, give you support, even through hard times or career advice. You need someone that you can lean on. So I'd be intentional, seek folks, that are in positions that you aspire to be and say, hey, can you mentor me? Because I want to reach a certain goal or level in my career, and I want your help.
And I'm glad you said I want to reach a certain goal. I think a lot of times, going back to that conversation about fear, teachers are scared to come outside of that realm. But think about some goals that you have, some things you would like to see, some changes you want to see in education. Here's a little shameless plug, but in our course, we're going to reveal those steps, those things that's going to help you build your capacity and spread that capacity. Because a lot of times we don't know what to do. How do I find a mentor? How do I go about that? What are my steps to do this?
Awesome. And when you have those relationships where someone is mentoring you or coaching you, you want to make sure you understand the value of feedback, because feedback and criticism is essential. It's essential, right? You need feedback.
You do.
Too often as teachers, we run away from getting observed or getting feedback from our principals or supervisors, but you want people to come into your classroom, observe what you're doing. If you're leading a professional development or some type of collaborative planning session, you want people to give you feedback. One of the things, again, I was not intentional about that.
Did you do any of these steps?
I did not. I don't know how.
Anyway, did you like it?
Long story. But when I realized the power of feedback, then I sought it out, and I asked veteran teachers to come into my classroom, look at my lesson plans, look at my data, give me feedback. How can I be better as a teacher? When I became a leader or department chair, then I had my teachers, my team, to give me feedback. One of the things that we always talk about, pluses and deltas, and people forget that step on the agenda, but that is so critical, especially if you are the facilitator of that meeting. You need feedback. Like, how can I do a better job?
And, again, back in the course, we talk about elevating our meetings. But how can you elevate them if you don't know what's not working? If you know that this is not reaching your type of learning style, talk about that, because we're only going to get better. I love what you said about having your teachers kind of evaluate you. In my new position, that's why I try to stay relevant, going into the classrooms and modeling different lessons. But that's great if I go ahead and model it. But now, can my teachers provide me some input? Like, hey, Coach Williams, you really should have done this. Did you think about that? That's the only way we're going to grow and push each other forward as a team. That's spreading that capacity.
Definitely. And then one of the things too, if we want to spread teacher leadership, then we need to make sure that the teachers on our team, within our building, that they are seeking professional development, right? We need to sharpen our skills on a regular basis. You just can't go to one little PD and say that's it. So seek professional development based on where your team is at that point. What are their strengths and where do they need to grow, and where their weak areas, and then make sure you follow up with coaching and feedback.
Oh my God!
Right? So don't just go to one PD and say we're done, we learned it, but no. As we're implementing those new strategies, those new skills, curriculum, what have you, you want to make sure that you're providing support along the way, and that will help us to really implement the new strategy, right? Because one little PD is not going to change it.
It's not. And when you were saying spreading, I think about how some leaders might stunt your growth because they are thinking about losing those educators, those powerful educators. But if we are building all of our teachers up, we're building our school culture up, then we're going to have those next leaders ready to step in when that other teacher goes to the next role.
Definitely.
That's why we really want to kind of hone in on building and spreading that leadership capacity. It's enough leadership things for everybody. Come get some.
We need to delegate, learn how to delegate. And again, we're talking about a professional learning community. We want to create this collaborative culture because too often in our schools, you have one or two people doing the whole thing, doing everything, and they're getting burnt out. And we're going to talk about that, one of our other discussions.
You said the B word.
Right, teacher burnout. But the reason why so many of our teacher leaders burn out, have that, that anxiety, that stress level, they're overwhelmed, is because they're doing everything. So in a PLC, all of the teachers on your team, they're sharing the work. They're working collaboratively to get it done. So again, if you're building and spreading teacher leadership, then hopefully that burnout on that teacher leader can lessen.
I like
so
that.
Important. So we got to build it and we got to spread it.
Lessen in the workload.
And again, I'm talking
Share
about
a
me.
Story. Yep. I want to know the details.
So initially, when I first became a teacher leader, a department chair, I was doing everything. And
because you're perfect.
No, definitely not. And highlighting different. You remember
I was there.
Highlighting the data, running the reports, doing everything. And then someone pulled me to the side, and it was like, and they told me, they said, if you do everything for the teachers, how are they ever going to learn? Okay, you're right. So then, I had to teach the teachers how to run their own data, how to analyze the data, how to run the reports,
how to utilize the data,
all of that. And so then they became excited about it and actually did more with the data. If I had just done everything for the teachers, and continued to do that, nothing would have really done it, been beneficial. So if we as teacher leaders do everything, then we're really not making an impact on teacher capacity or student achievement because we're doing all the work. Same thing in the classroom, right? If the teacher's doing all the talking, they're doing all the learning.
Right.
And
they're doing the hard work. That's why they're tired when they go home.
So you want to make sure that the students are involved so they can learn, so they can explore and really dig into that, those standards and really learn, right? Same thing when you're talking about building teacher capacity. You want to make sure the teachers are doing the work so that they can get excited. So we want to, again, set our teams on fire by building these wonderful professional learning communities. You can't get folks excited if you're doing all the work.
I'm going to jump in because I got a little story. As I'm going around to different classrooms, you get to see teachers in their element. And sometimes we don't get to see that, and other teachers don't get to see that. And so if I'm doing a lot of professional development, I might invite another teacher to share their expertise. And you would be amazed that once you get that teacher to present, you get their buy-in. And if you get their buy-in, then you got their friends buy-in too. And it is what? Spreading. So as a leader, you have to kind of leverage the skills of your team as well. You have to know your people and see how you can get them to buy in to the vision, or a vision that you all have created together, which is a different module.
All right, shameless plug.
Shameless.
Okay, so again, guys, we are talking about how we build and spread teacher leadership. We want to encourage all of our village members to check out our Village Academy course, Set Your Team on Fire, the 3 elements of a professional learning community. We are talking about our fuel, our oxygen, and our heat. Today, we're just talking about the heat, how to build and spread teacher leadership. It's so important that we focus on developing our capacity as teachers and leaders. We can't forget that we are leaders too.
Exactly.
Because too often we seek professional development, we seek coaching for our instructional practice. But what about our leadership skills as well?
Right.
So we want to build and spread teacher leadership. So again, Coach Williams, tell the people a little bit about why they need to join the Village Academy.
Oh, y'all listen. So, shameless plug, right? The village is where we all get together, right? And we can exchange best practices. But the Village Academy is going to take that to a next level. If you really want true preparation, true practice, actual examples of how to do this, our course is going to do that. It sets the groundwork for everything. It gives you resources, other materials to go out there. Like we talked about, you get development for your instruction, but you need to also develop yourself as a leader. How do you develop your team to take on leadership? This course is going to do that. The Village Academy wants to make sure that you have all of the tools necessary. So we didn't tell them how to join the Village Academy.
Oh.
How do they get access to it? Where do they go?
Right. Well, you can definitely go to our website, the Village Leadership, LG.com, and the link is somewhere around here. And then you can click on the Village Academy and you can join and register for our course. And we will send you all of the materials. But wait, the Village Academy and our first course, Set Your Team on Fire, is not just for 1 or 2 teachers on your team. No, it's for the entire team. So you want to make sure that everyone on your team register, because there are going to be modules and information and resources that you can use as a team. For the whole team, everyone on the team can be engaged. So definitely you want to register, okay?
I like it.
Yes, register now. All right. So again, the Village Academy, join
right now. Are you still looking at us? Are you joining right now?
I don't know what they're doing. Stop looking at us. Click the link. All right. So again, join the Village. We appreciate you for sharing and getting excited with us, because again, this is different times. We're dealing with the pandemic, but we still need to develop our skills so we can have impact on teacher practice and student achievement. That's why we do what we do as teachers, right? So again, thank you for following us on Facebook and Instagram at the Village LG. See you next time. And remember, teacher leadership is a mindset, not a position.